everyone. Before we get started with this episode, first I would like to apologize that we have not had an episode out in a while. We had a few recorded before Christmas and then this one recorded, and I had some computer issues, so I was not able to get them out until now. So we are going to release this one, which has information that is relevant right now, and then the other two in case you want to listen to them anyway, just kind of as a little bonus, because we did record them, we still want to edit them and get them out to you. But some of the news that we talk about in this episode, because we recorded it a few weeks ago, has changed a bit. We do talk about the M&M store getting ready to open. It is open now, which is awesome. We talk about the Gideon's Bake Shop and how it had a soft opening and was going to have a grand opening. It did, in fact, have a grand opening, so that is open in Disney Springs with 11-hour waits the first day and an average of about 3-hour waits now. We also talked about the Stitch Crashes Disney. That will have a new one coming out soon, but right now it is still the Lady and the Tramp one. The new Soul of Jazz exhibit at the American Pavilion started on February 1st, so we talk about how it was going to start. We still haven't had a chance to visit it, but we'll be getting there soon so we can fill you in on all the awesome information about the new exhibit. And we talk about the Disneyland Resort starting to do vaccinations and setting up a massive vaccination station. They have started doing that. That is open 24/7. They are getting lots of people vaccinated, which is super awesome. And everything else is relevant. So on this episode, we are talking about the food at the Festival of the Arts, which was exceptionally amazing this year, which you will hear me talk about, and that is going on through February 25th, so you will still have a chance to get there and experience all of the delicious treats and beautiful art. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab.
Welcome to episode 59. Here's what you need to know if you're van going to the Festival of the Arts 2021. I'm Juli.
And I'm Amy.
And today we are, if you couldn't guess it, going to be talking about the Festival of the Arts. It is their 5-year anniversary, so super exciting. But first, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish?
Let's dish. All right, so we have 8 million items for you today, so here we go.
It's been a while since we've recorded, so we've got a lot of news. And there's just a lot happening in Disney right now.
Yeah, there's just so much happening in the world, the Disney world right now. Ba-doom-cha, exactly. But yeah, so we thought we'd give you so many news items because there's also just so much to report. Item 1, the M&M store is coming to Disney Springs sometime in 2021. That's all I got.
They're painting the outside. It's got some yellow.
Yellow M&M. I am slightly borderline in love with peanut M&Ms.
I was just gonna say the yellow peanut M&M is my favorite, and I know that sounds the yellow ones and the blue ones, and I know that sounds really weird because they all taste the same, but the yellow and the blue peanut M&Ms, my favorite.
Mine were always, and make it a point to say they were always, even when I remember in 3rd grade voting in the what's the next M&M color. I voted for purple.
As you should.
Yeah, it was blue that came out. But my favorite was green. And so I always liked green M&Ms. I'm just going to make that statement. It's not because of that other thing. And if you don't know what the other thing is, Google it.
Do you know that I used to love green Skittles until they changed the flavor like Monsters?
Yeah,
who changes
you told me,
it from lime to green
Skittles.
Apple? You can only get the lime in the orchard blend.
I know, it's messed up. And limes do not grow in orchards. It's a citrus grove and an apple orchard.
Very true.
I just need to be specific and whiny.
But they do grow in large groups on trees. So I think that was their logic there.
Ah, yes. Item 2. Park hopping is back. Kind of. Juli, expand.
So, as of January 1st, you can park hop in Disney again. Now, I made a reservation at EPCOT on January 1st because it is my anniversary, and that's where Jason and I were on January 1st last year. So I figured I'd celebrate. He was working too, you know, say hi, hey babe, happy anniversary, you know, all that good stuff. And then I remembered that park hopping was a thing again. Woo-hoo! Now, initially they were talking about how it was just going to be one additional park that you could go to, and it was after 2 p.m. as long as there was availability at the parks. Well, it turns out that you could park up to all the parks. So I parked up to all 4 parks. Now, how it works is you have to have a reservation at one of the parks, and you have to visit that park first before you can park hop to any other parks. So you can't just make a reservation at EPCOT and say, cool, I'm going to Hollywood Studios for the day.
You have to go to EPCOT first.
This is based on whether there is park availability, and there was on the 1st at all the parks. I assume later in the year, like around October 1st, you will not be able to go to certain parks because they will not have availability, but we'll touch base on that later.
More on that later.
But how it worked, it was really cool. So super, super smooth. I was insanely impressed. So first, you leave the first park. There's park hopper signs everywhere. They're really awesome, super informative. There's someone there to tell you where to go, tell you what to do. And right before you get on the bus, there is a cast member who scans your band or ticket to make sure that you do in fact have a park hopper option. I do because I am an annual pass holder, and that is one of my perks. So I was very excited that I got to use that perk again. So I went from EPCOT to Animal Kingdom, and the bus pulled up immediately as soon as I hopped in line, which was awesome. And the nice thing about it is I think there was one other family that was on the bus with me. So very, very socially distanced, which was awesome. And I went to Animal Kingdom, and then from Animal Kingdom, I went to Magic Kingdom. I had to think about that for a second there. I went to Magic Kingdom because my thought process was that I was going to take the boat from Hollywood Studios back to EPCOT because that's where I was parked. However, I had initially wanted to do Magic Kingdom last, you know, because
it's what you do.
Magic Kingdom. But I went to Magic Kingdom, and then I went to Hollywood Studios. And at Hollywood Studios, I got their awesome red velvet cookie cake sandwich thing. Like they have the carrot cake cookie. It's like that, but red velvet. Same filling. Delicious. Amazing. Super moist. Wonderful.
Not technically a cookie.
In the grand scheme of things, it's round.
It's cookie shaped. It's
exactly.
A cake cookie.
Yes. But yeah, it was super awesome. I didn't wait for more than a couple minutes going to each park. I ended the night in EPCOT, and I was literally the only person on the bus from Hollywood Studios to EPCOT. And I just think they ran it really smooth. And from what I experienced, it felt like now that the park hopper option is available, the parks are less congested. And I don't know if that's true, but that's how it felt. And even when Jason and I went to EPCOT on Monday, it was virtually dead. Frozen had a 15-minute wait time at 5 o'clock.
Well,
so I'm excited about it. It was awesome. It was really smoothly done, and I'm very excited to have park hopping back.
That is excellent. I didn't realize you had gone to all 4 parks.
I did. I posted pictures.
I know.
I had a different themed mask for every park. Thank you very much.
What day was this?
January 1st.
Oh, I was just like not paying attention to the world on January 1st. I was just like, it's January 1st. It is no longer 2020. I was just literally just like reveling in the fact that 2020 was over. Like, granted, that went different ways. But anyways.
I mean, it's cool. Thanks for, not paying attention to our podcast when I post on Instagram. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I love you, Juli.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun to finally be able to do that again. And granted, I only kind of like stepped in and out of each park. I didn't really spend too much time in each of them so that I could get to all of them and be home at a decent time because I was exhausted, but still super magical and really definitely not that there isn't magic at the parks. It's just, a little bit different magic, but it was cool having even more magic back. They are also,
Magic.
I don't think this is one of your news items, so I'm going to talk about it. They are also adding early morning hours for hotel guests starting sometime soon. And from the rumors that I have heard, it's only a half an hour earlier than the park is normally open for hotel guests. But what doesn't make sense to me about that is they already let people into the parks like an hour early to stand and wait. So I don't know how that's all going to work, but we will see as it unfolds.
Exactly. Item 3. Gideon's Bake Shop will be baking again. So Gideon's had and this is in Disney Springs, had a soft opening in late December through the early part of the month, and then closed again in preparation for its full opening. And if you were panicking over it, you can fear not, because the delicious cookies will return. My understanding is that the soft opening went really well, like too well. They had such, response to it that they had to kind of back up and be like, all right, we might have to make some changes to make everything work, properly, smoothly, and safely.
So here's the thing with a normal soft opening. You don't announce to the world that you're having a soft opening. You just kind of open up, and if there are people walking by, they stop in because you're open. Whereas in this instance, literally everyone all over the world, at least the US, knew that this was happening. And I think I read somewhere that there was like a 3-hour wait first thing in the morning to get a cookie, which, especially in these times, is overwhelming. And so they needed to kind of close, reassess, and figure out how they could reopen safely. And grand opening is coming again soon. Follow them on Instagram. It's Gideon's Bakehouse, and you will get all the information. They are trying really hard to get back open for you soon. And the whole plan was soft opening and then a full grand opening later. So it's not a huge shock that they did close down, but it is a little disappointing. The other one in Orlando is very close, so if you still want your half-pound cookies, you can get them there in the meantime, but alas, they will be open soon, again, in Disney Springs.
Item 4. New pass holder ears. The new annual pass holder exclusive ears are out. They are...
They're out. That's how we feel about them.
Yep, they're out. They are the easiest to describe. The basic sequined Disney ear with
in a rainbow color.
Yeah, with a bow, more or less. The sequins on the ears are blue, gold, and pink. It's a neutral pink. It's not like a bright, hot pink, so it kind of blends in. It's not the star, so
at
if
a
you don't
quick
like
glance, it's kind of white. I mean, it's not white, but if you're looking at the picture very quickly, it looks white.
I initially thought it was tan, and then I turned the my screen brightness up, and then I was like, oh no, it is pink. So
I thought it was honestly just discolored from the lighting in the shop where the picture was taken. I
actually looked around to check different picture sources to make sure that it wasn't just those pictures. The the 3 colors are the blue, gold, and pink, and the bow is a shimmery blue fabric bow, nice and pink and
not a puffy bow.
Nice and big and mini like, but it's a fabric. Obviously a puffy bow would be a fabric bow too, but
stuffed.
But not a stuffed bow, like a nice pretty solid bow. And where is it? The bow, the bow is shimmery, and there is a blue and gold Mickey pass holder emblem in the center of the bow.
Imagine the pass holder magnet, but Mickey is gold and the kind of background is blue. Like a blue fill.
Yeah. Pretty much look at anything with the pass holder Mickey logo on it, and that's going to be it. The headband is blue and lined with a silver fabric for some reason.
Even though there is no silver on the headband anywhere.
Yeah.
I would have done yellow if I were going to do that. Were you able to see? I haven't seen it yet. I honestly haven't seen it anywhere, and I've been at the parks a few times. But does it say pass holder? Is that in embroidered
it says
on the side?
It says, let me look. It says Walt Disney World on the side. It says Walt Disney World on the side. Let me see.
I think they are the first official pass holder ears, but personally, I would prefer a limited edition set of ears that were just only exclusive for pass holders, not necessarily ones that said pass holder ears.
It says pass holder on the emblem.
Just on the emblem, though, not on the side.
I know it says Walt Disney on the. It says Walt Disney World on the side, at least the ones for Walt Disney World, which is the ones that we are seeing. I'm trying to see if it shows. Yeah, no, it's blank on one side and Walt Disney World on the other. Yeah, I'm not too excited about them. So if we weren't getting new ears, basically, every month, not that I'm complaining, because yay, various selections, but we've been getting inundated with so many variations on the sequined and some sort of sparkly bow ears that this one just kind of falls flat. I'm sure that there is a pass holder out there.
I do
so excited.
Appreciate that they are the puffy sequence ones and not the uncrustable version ones. However, I feel like they could have done something. Like, honestly, I would have liked to see the pass holder logo on one of the ears.
Like on the back of one of them or something like that?
Even on the front. Like, let's just say we do the blue. We stick with the blue and gold, right? Blue fabric, gold screen printing on it with Mickey and the pass holder as, like, the ear.
Yeah. I think they were just banking on people have been buying the sequined ears because they keep coming out in a different color, and I need a purple one, or I need a green one, or I need an orange one, or I need a... So...
But the thing is, like, my purple sequence ears are a different sequence than this sequence. This sequence is the same sequence as the Arendelle Aqua ears that I have, and I'm not as big a fan of it. It's, like, smaller sequence, it's not as sparkly. I don't like it as much as the larger, shiny, shimmery sequence.
No, I'm with you. I also am not wowed by these.
But there are pass holder ears, so if you like them, go buy them.
And
if they appeal to you, please get them.
Yes.
I just have like 4,000 pairs of ears, so if I'm going to get a new pair of ears, it's going to be a more exciting set of ears than this.
She really does have a lot of ears. I've seen people on the internet showing pictures of their ear collection that are like 4 times the size of Juli's, but Juli has a really sizable ear collection.
And it keeps growing. I think I have not purchased, but I got a set for Christmas, and then I bought 2 sets of ears on Christmas Day, and actually I don't think I've gotten any ears since then, but you never know.
Never know. Item 5. Stitch crashes Disney. If you happen to be old enough to remember the release of Lilo and Stitch, you might remember the trailer where Stitch crashed some of our favorite Disney movies. If you don't, well, it happened, and it can be found on early 2000s Disney VHSs. What, you don't have a VCR anymore? I do. Even if it's not currently plugged in, it does still work. Well, Disney has reached back to this fun trailer and has made a year's worth of themed Stitch plushes as well as other merchandise for 2021. 2020 had the mini plushes, and 2021 has Stitch. January is Beauty and the Beast with a stained glass rose motif, and it's very pretty. February
and it's
is
kind of like a silky satin look to it.
Oh yeah, it's super shiny. I love it. If I was a stuffed animal collector, I would be tempted.
I love Stitch so much.
I know, I love Stitch. February is Lady and the Tramp, and they just released a picture of the plush, and it is spaghetti and meatballs and the red and white checkered tablecloth. It is absolutely adorable.
It is so adorable.
There is a matching pin and a magic band for each month, as well as matching t-shirt and coffee mug. According to Disney, March will be The Lion King, April will be The Little Mermaid, May will be Pinocchio, and June will be Aladdin. July through December has yet to be announced. If you want these plushies, the Beauty and the Beast collection is available on Shop Disney, and the rest will be released the 3rd Saturday of every month through the end of 2021. I would recommend shopping early, as historically these releases go very quickly.
So the Stitch Beauty and the Beast one went on sale on the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I assume this will not come out before then, but I will try.
Okay.
If this does not come out before the 16th, let me tell you, you can, and this will actually be for future ones as well, you can sign up for a merch pass through Shop
yes.
Disney. And if you are selected to purchase your merchandise, you get to be the first one to buy it. It is going on sale. Oh, gosh. I want to say it might have been today, and then in the parks on Saturday, but give me 1 second.
Yeah, what I was reading was saying that it was already on sale, and I think I clicked on it. I don't know.
But yeah, the collections for 2020 were Minnie's main attraction collection, and they were different rides from Magic Kingdom. And I personally have the Jungle Cruise one because I finally got one, thank goodness, even though it was second to last. And I got the last one, which are super adorable as well. Sorry,
I'm really excited to see these. Like I've said before, or at least I've said to you before, I don't generally buy stuffed animals because it's just, they're never ending. There's always an adorable stuffed animal. So I have to really, really like the stuffed animal, or it has to be Figment.
Exactly.
So I won't be buying any of these, but they're all extremely tempting because Stitch is adorable. I wonder if, because they would have planned this like in 2019, they would have had this probably planned and set out at that point. I wonder if they were going to do any like in-park Stitch thing before COVID. Because remember, he for his like he trashed the castle one year one year for I think his sequel, which is something they'll never do again because they had like 47 million canceled weddings because nobody wanted to get married in front of a toilet paper style trashed castle.
I would have. Okay, so sorry. So they did go on sale on the 13th, and on the 16th is when they go on sale in the park. So that is
good.
what I was thinking about. And the pin and the stuffy are already sold out online.
Oh wow. Not surprised. But no, yeah, that was the most fun trailer. I remember
my favorite was
Beauty and the Beast was the
Beauty
first
and
one?
the Beast. And Belle and the Beast are dancing, and he crawls across the ceiling and
yes,
drips spit onto them.
Yeah, that one was the best.
That was amazing.
I'm glad. It's probably why they went with the first one, Beauty and the Beast, because that was the first one. Item 6. Tokyo Disneyland Resort will begin selling fixed day and time passports for the parks. That's Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Or Disney Sea, I suppose. I don't know if it's Tokyo Disney Sea. These will be a limited capacity, obviously, because COVID, and you cannot actually purchase too far in advance. For example, on the 14th, you can purchase tickets for the 14th through the 19th. On the 20th, you can purchase tickets for the 20th through the 26th, and that's as far as they've kind of set out. If you happen to be listening from Tokyo, please email us and tell us. We'd love to know. But if you are, ticket sales begin at 2 p.m. JST, which I'm assuming is Japan Standard Time. No, okay.
I'm shaking my head, yes.
I thought you shook it back and forth.
So yeah.
On the 14th and 20th, so at 2 p.m. on the 14th and 20th, respectively, on the Tokyo Disney Resort online reservation and ticket system. I imagine, and I can really appreciate the reason behind that, you can buy a ticket this day for these upcoming days, but not any farther, is if you manage to get your ticket for 3 weeks out and you're not feeling good in 3 weeks, a lot can happen in 3 weeks is basically what I'm saying. A lot can happen in 3 weeks during a pandemic. Be safe. There is a quick video
as they have shut down before and are opening again. It's just
exactly
they're being cautious this time.
Yes. There is a quick video on Tokyo Disney's website to remind guests to wear a mask, social distancing, including how you should wait at the line and not just go in the gap between the two lines. Hint, hint, Walt Disney World's visitors.
Also,
you can't see me, but I'm glaring.
Party that stretches past one of the lines, use your judgment. Don't walk up to the next one if it's only a foot away. Stay back at the last one.
Exactly. Use your judgment. And also a reminder to listen to the cast member instructions.
And don't take your mask off for pictures.
Correct. Item 7. New menu at Spice Road Table. I think. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're mid-pandemic. I live in Massachusetts and haven't been to Walt Disney World in over a year at this point, and haven't been to Spice Road Table since Halloween of 2019. I have a series of Halloween-themed Snapchat filtered selfies I took while we were waiting for our food.
So do I.
On my camera roll to remind me of this. So admittedly, when I looked at new menu, it looked extremely familiar. Julie, however, was there a couple months ago, and she can likely confirm my assumption that this new menu is really the new expanded COVID menu. Either way, I recommend just about everything on it.
So, this menu has been updated because Disney took over the Moroccan Pavilion. A lot of the things are similar to what they were on the old menu. However, they took out the delicious pistachio saffron creme brulee.
That is
and
so
now
sad.
they have a dessert platter that looks incredible. It's kind of similar. It reminds me of the dessert platter that they used to have at Restaurant Marrakesh. What makes me very sad is to think that Restaurant Marrakesh will not open again. But
yeah,
the items on the menu, I think what is new on the menu is the pomegranate chili crispy cauliflower.
Yes, that was new.
It sounds delicious. They still have a Spice Road sampler. They have dolmas that I do not believe they had, or they might have had. But so now it's just all small plates. So
that
now
was
it's
actually how it was when they first opened too.
Yeah, so now it's literally just a tapas restaurant. Previous to COVID, it had a full menu. It had small plates, it had entrees, it had desserts. Once COVID happened, it had small plates, entrees, and desserts, just a smaller section of them. And honestly, their menu wasn't huge anyway, so it wasn't like they really took much off the menu. But I'm excited that it's just small plates now, because I wanted to try so many things that were entree sized, and I just didn't want to spend the money because there were so many appetizers that I wanted to try too. So
if I remember correctly, when Spice Road Table first opened, it was originally small plates and tapas. And basically, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm just literally thinking back. It was right when Disney food started to become popular. Like, it was, they were having the festivals and whatnot, but it was just like a sudden expansion where like every year there'd be like 3 whole new booths and all these, a lot more food, and just like more booths at all of the non-food festivals as well. So, and then it was, the Disney dining plan was having issues with it and people weren't eating there because it didn't apply for the small plates, because the small plates were all appetizers. So it was a non-Disney dining restaurant for a while, just purely because they didn't have entrees. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why they brought entrees on. But I do remember it being just exclusively tapas when it first opened.
yes, and then they did add meals to it, but they were still not part of the Disney dining plan.
Yeah. And
until maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah. And then exactly. And then they were, and then, all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I just hope that they don't water it down, that they don't, back off on flavors.
So walking by it still smelled delicious. And judging by the booth for the Festival of the Arts, I think we're going to be okay.
Good.
And even walking past the shop, it's definitely Disney-fied.
Yeah, they put, from what the pictures I saw,
Aladdin section is small, but I just remember the shop outside used to have all the delicious treats from Morocco, all the
the candies and the food items.
Exactly. And then inside they had everything else, but I don't even think there are shops open inside.
Yeah, they probably aren't, because they probably have to want to redo everything, and they just merchandise completely different than the Moroccan government did. Or sorry, the Moroccan Board of Tourism did. But, you know, hopefully we won't be losing all the cool Moroccan and Moroccan-inspired items. You know, they had a lot of cool, unique items, but there was also a lot of variety. There's just a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's
something for everyone.
Way smaller scale now. And I'm wondering, because there are what look like authentic Moroccan articles of clothing, I'm wondering if they did purchase some of the items from Morocco, or say, hey, this is part of the debt that you owe us, we're going to take these, or something.
Well, I don't think that they owe them a debt, but I imagine, honestly, I imagine they picked up on, they just literally, as part of the transfer, it would make sense that they would buy
well, that's why they transferred ownership to Disney, because they were in debt to Disney.
Well, yeah, because of all the stuff that happened, but who knows? That probably was part of it.
Speaking of the Moroccan booth at Festival of the Arts, I have found a new lamb that we shall not share. And it's better than the Australian lamb from Food and Wine.
What?
The newest lamb from Food
Yeah.
and Wine, not the original lamb. But
not the lamb. Yes, exactly.
But a very close second to the original. But we will talk about that more later on in the episode.
Yes. Item 8. Let's take a look at the soul of jazz. Okay, before I get into my actual news, if you haven't seen Soul and you have Disney Plus, go do that ASAP. It's a great family film and gives you the laughs and the warm, fuzzy feelings, and it's great.
It was so good.
Oh yeah. Moving on to the actual news. A new exhibit titled The Soul of Jazz is coming to the American Adventure in EPCOT's American Pavilion. If you have been to this attraction in the last few years, you would have seen the exhibit of traditional Native American arts featuring both historical and modern pieces. I love this exhibit, and I am very sad to see it go, but the exhibit space is designed to house temporary rotating exhibits, and this new one looks very promising. We've been promised a musical tour across America with Joe Gardner, who is from the film Soul, and he's a jazz musician, with stops including New Orleans, Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. This exhibit is being created with the help of jazz museums across the country and should drop, music pun, in February.
I definitely appreciated the Native American Museum, and I'm glad I finally got to experience it because it was fascinating. But I am very excited about this as well, because the Native American Museum was in there so long, it'll be nice to have something new to learn about.
Yeah, it's been there at least 3 or 4 years, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see it too. I also really like the Native American exhibit. All right. Item 9. Well, that was fast. As of this recording, all passes for Magic Kingdom on October 1st, 2021, also known as Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, are completely booked for all guests. Other parks have availability, but Magic Kingdom is booked. Now, it is currently mid-January, and we are still in the middle of a pandemic, so there is a fairly good chance that more passes may be made available between now and October 1st, so keep an eye out, but it's also entirely possible that pass availability will remain as it is. It all depends on COVID right now, so wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance,
get vaccinated,
and hope for things to improve.
Get vaccinated.
Oh yeah, that's item 10. To improve to the point where they could release more passes. So, do your part. But yeah, so I when you said earlier to me, you said they're all passed out, they're all completely booked. And I was like, wait, for October? And then I was like, no, it must be Memorial Day. No, they must. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, no, it's October. And I was just like, yeah, wow. I was surprised they actually released them this far in advance, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, have park passes, or have had the park passes through all of 2021 since the park reopened in July. So I'm surprised it didn't fill up sooner. I
didn't think they were that far out. I thought they were to Memorial Day is literally, I thought that's as like far out as they were, because I don't know. Item 10. Speaking of COVID, if you are nearby Disneyland in California, you might be getting your vaccine at Disneyland parking lot. It has been announced that Disneyland will be used as a super point of dispensing location for COVID vaccine in California. Other California locations include Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Petco Park in San Diego, and Cal Expo in Sacramento. So if you are in California or any other state and you get a chance to get a COVID vaccine, please do it.
Yes, and the cool thing about the one in Disneyland, it is going to be open 24/7. And I guess, I mean, not necessarily the cool thing, because it's going to be open 24/7 because of the insane amount of cases in LA and Orange County, which I don't understand how, but alas, I think they said something like 1 in 5 people have it in Orange County, and 2,200 people are hospitalized because of it, and it's LA County especially is insane. They were saying something like someone dies every 10 minutes or 10 seconds. I believe it's every 10 minutes, and it's just breaks my heart.
Also, the vaccine does not immediately make you immune or anything like that. That's why you get 2 doses, and it has to build up its basically ability to fight itself off over that time. So just everybody hold tight and keep being safe. Did you have anything to add?
And continue to wear a mask, because it's still a 2-part vaccine. So even if you get the first half of it, you still need to get the second. And just like with the flu vaccine, there is a chance that you can be a carrier even though you've gotten the vaccine. So still wear your mask and be respectful.
Yes. Item 11. This has me feeling expressly tragical. Thank you. The long-lived shuttle service known as Disney's Magical Express will be discontinued, for lack of a better word, in 2022. Resort airline check-in will also be discontinued, but that slightly less tragic process has never been very magical. Anyway, the discontinuation of this Disney-funded service coincides with their contract with Mears to operate that service ending. Mears, if you are not familiar, is a transportation service operating in Orlando, and that has operated the Magical Express the entire time the Magical Express has been around.
Since 2005.
Thank you. We won't likely be getting a film with our favorite bus driver, Gus, which, side note,
I think
Juli
that's
and I met
the saddest
him.
part. But he was not Gus when we met him.
Yeah, he was not Gus when I met him. And
He
Julie
was
was like, no,
Officer
you're
Peabody.
Gus. And I'm like, Juli, he's Officer Peabody. And you're like, oh, yeah, he's Officer Peabody. That's right. But we have a picture of that somewhere. So no Gus video probably, but in their statement, Mears reminded us all that their shuttle service to Disney and the other Orlando theme parks was there before the Magical Express and will continue after the Magical Express's discontinuation. It just won't be included in the price of your resort stay. Let's discuss.
It won't be included in the price of your resort stay, but the price of your resort stay is not going down.
No, of course not.
So here's the deal. They're like, hey, so we're going to have this really awesome Brightline shuttle. Brightline...
Yep, train
that will bring you from the airport to Disney Springs, which I think is awesome. And it's also going to be from Disney Springs to the airport, obviously, and over to Tampa, which is awesome, and I believe down to Miami as well. So it's a really awesome train system. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, and it's not train, but that's okay. Railway system, that's what I'm looking for. And
that's what you're looking for.
They've been talking about it for eons of years down in Florida, and I remember Jason talking about how excited he was going to be that he could take the train to work from Tampa instead of driving 2 hours from over in St. Pete. However, now it is being privately funded, so the chance that it's happening is it's going to happen. But
yeah, much higher.
And it's awesome. However, the nice thing about the Magical Express was that you didn't have to worry about your bags except for your carry-ons, and it was included in the price of your stay. So, negatives. It took them a very long time to get your bag to your room in some cases.
Yep.
So you had to prepare with some of the items in your carry-on that you would need for the day, bathing suit, whatever you're going to wear for the park. But I think it's going to be very hard for people to bring all of their luggage on a train to Disney Springs and then onto a bus to their resort. Because especially with COVID and the pandemic, and I honestly don't see anything getting any better over the next year. So let's just say the beginning of 2022, they're still socially distancing. The buses are still spread out. That's basically like one family and all their luggage per bus.
Yeah.
And so I understand that it is an inconvenience, but it's an Uber from the airport to your hotel is only $30. If you have children and need a car seat, take a Lyft. It's not an insanely expensive transaction.
And honestly, if you can rent a van, you can like go to Mears and just rent a minivan to take you there for not a crazy amount as well. Like,
and
that's always been an option.
A mini van,
yeah. M-I-N-I, not M-I-N-N-E-I. You know?
However you spell mini. But yes.
Yes.
And so the issue with that is then you have to pay for parking every day, which...
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I don't mean rent a minivan and drive it there yourself. I mean, like, you would rent it, like you would call a taxi to your house to drive you somewhere. You could rent a minivan.
Not renting.
Yeah. Well, hire. I said originally hire one or rent one, but like not. That's what I meant. I mean, like hire a
rent.
Mears shuttle.
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
I meant hire.
And I know that once when I went down to Disney and stayed off property, we took a Mears van.
Yeah.
Which wasn't all that awful. At the time, we shared it with a bunch of other people. In times of COVID, that probably won't happen. But I remember it being like $15 for each of us, and that's not too terrible.
I can remember just like being in Disney before the times of Uber and Lyft and just seeing Mears taxis and just Mears everywhere. And you still see them, but it's much less frequent.
Like that trip that I went with you and Amanda.
Woo! That was fun. The discontinuation of the Disney Magical Express does not pass the Helen test. But I was talking to her and telling her all about it, and she doesn't understand it either because the Disney Magical Express, it picks you up and gets you to the park right away so you can spend money, and it doesn't give you a vehicle to leave Disney property with until you leave. So...
Well, and the thing is... Like,
that makes the most business sense.
You can Uber and Lyft off property if you want to.
Yes.
Cool. But... I feel like Disney would rather people spend that $30 that they're going to be spending on a taxi or whatever that they're budgeting in on something else in the park. So it just seems... I'm just curious what the cost... Like, I understand that they are bleeding a little bit with so many parks being closed and the pandemic and everything like that. But
it might...
The fact that it's not being... paused now, and it's not being paused until 2022. I mean, I'm sure that's probably because they're like, hey, people still come to the park. We still have a Magical Express.
Well, it has to do with their contract, so it might just be like they're contractually, But it also might be that with Disney, starting up and creating the minivan service, it might have been a first step. And they're like, hey, if we can, make this work, maybe we'll do our own shuttle service or something like that.
What I'm thinking
with the train, it might be it wouldn't have to be quite as large of a fleet as Disney Magical Express uses now.
What I am thinking is this announcement was made so early and everybody's up in arms about it. I'm sure Disney is working on something as an alternative.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I wonder, like, I appreciate Mears' very blanketed statement about it, but I'm wondering if they just didn't come to terms on a new contract and perhaps Mears was looking for more money than they had the last time, and you know, it just didn't work out. I'm wondering if, you know, they had played a part in it as well, but you know, you never know.
It might be that Mirror's being like, all right, so if you're not going to give us more money, then we're going to end the contract. And they're kind of being like, all right, Disney, your move.
Yeah, I think Mirror's was probably more like, hey, this was your contract before. This is what we're giving you for a contract this year. Take it or leave it. And Disney was like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying is it might be, like I said, it might be, who knows? We'll figure it out when it comes to it. Because it'll either happen or it won't. All right, and then real quick, one more item. Item 12, Juli takes the prettiest pictures of the new fountain topper in Epcot, and it's so beautiful and pretty, and all the pictures that Juli take are the best pictures. Well, what I love about it is essentially a modern replica of the original structure that was there, which was perfect and all that ever needed to be there. And they took it away. And then they did other things to it. And then now they've brought me back my 3 slightly bent acrylic pillars.
Yep. Pillars, pylons, prisms, all the above.
My acrylic pillars representing the dream of the future as seen in the 80s.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for my daily dish.
And surprisingly, it went as long as Amy's daily dish usually goes when there are only 2 or 3 items.
Yeah.
All right, now for the meat and potatoes of this episode, we are going to be talking about EPCOT's. Oh, sorry, excuse me. This year it's called the Taste of EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. Now, it's interesting that they're calling it a taste of because this is as many booths as are usually at the festival.
That's better PR to sound like you're doing less.
I mean, it's not a lot of booths. There are way more for everything else, but alas.
Alas.
So, first, there's festival merchandise.
Festival merchandise.
There are the food studios, which are the food booths.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful walk of colorful cuisine, which is when you buy a different item in each thing and you get a colored stamp and then you get a complimentary treat at the end. We'll go over that.
And the wonderful world of color.
And then there is entertainment that happens at the America Gardens Pavilion and the gallery exhibits. Oh, it says, and here it says beginning February 1st at the American Adventure, explore the surprising history of jazz. So I guess that's the date that it's coming.
Excellent. February 1st. Everything I read was February. They're just like vague February.
So at Future World West, they have Drawing on Inspiration, which is discover dazzling depictions of classic Epcot attractions illustrated by 2 Disney Imagineers with unique points of view. This is really awesome. It's a way to kind of make the black walls all around Epcot seem less daunting. So there are 2 artists, and it's both of their takes on different rides. And there's Journey into Imagination with Figment. There is Horizons. There is World of Wonder. Maybe it's what it was called. World of Motion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Spaceship Earth, The Land. So it's a lot of fun. And next there is Expression section, a paint by number mural. So this is the paint by number that they have every year. This year they've done a really good job with social distancing. So how they do it is they have sections 1 through 8, and on certain days 1, 3, 5, and 7 are open, and the other days it's 2, 4, 6, 8. So people are socially distanced, and then you get a paintbrush and some paint on the other side of the street, if you will, road, path, whatever. And then you wait in... Yeah, thank you. And then you wait in line to paint. I think they've done a great job. The first one that Jason and I saw almost finished on Monday looks amazing. And I just think I was really sad that they weren't going to do this again. So I'm really excited that they found a way to do it socially distanced.
Excellent.
And this is actually in a different place this year. I know last year it was kind of at the center going down the Showcase Plaza to the World Showcase. This is actually now over by the land. You'll see it as you...
That makes so much sense. Right. I know exactly what you're talking about, or I can imagine. And honestly, part of the problem with it doing it where it was just that it was in traffic flow and it draws too many crowds at one time of people watching. So, good place to put it.
Where it was last year wasn't too bad because it was still like not a lot of traffic going through there because of the way the park has been blocked up. But in previous years, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But they have chalk art galleries, which they have had before, and that's on the bridge to Showcase Plaza. And I got some pictures of those and shared them on our Instagram the other night. They're really awesome. And then they have the Figments brush with the masters. So this is the Figment scavenger hunt that they have. So you help them find all of the masterpieces. That's right. You put them on and you get a super fun... Okay, so it's a really awesome paper cutout. And you can pick between Figment and Daisy, Mickey, and Minnie, I believe. And then it comes with a little standee of Spaceship Earth as well. Jason and I have not put ours together yet, but I am super excited about it. It's super artsy and super fun and looks super cute.
Gee, I wonder which one you got.
Figment, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
And then throughout World Showcase, they have Chock full of character, which... I have not seen yet, but they have... Oh! This was something that they did last year. But so they have Disney characters that are chalk painted onto the walls. And I know they had Jiminy Cricket in Italy and... Or it might have been Pascal in Italy. I don't know. They had some cute characters last year and it was awesome. So they're doing that as well. And then they have artful photo ops as well, which are the paintings that you can stand in and take pictures with.
Excellent.
In the courtyards of the United Kingdom, they have a new characters off the page, which is portraits of your favorite Disney characters from around the world. Neato. At the America Garden Theater, they have Animation Academy, where you get to learn how to draw Disney characters from an animation artist, and that is daily at 12:30 and 1:30. So while there's still daylight, I have not had a chance to do it here, but I have done it at Animal Kingdom, and you did it with me as well. So yes. I assume it's the same way. They give you a little easel and a pencil and a piece of paper. You draw, you give back the easel and the pencil, you keep your art. They also have the Voices of Liberty, and it is the Disney songbook, whereas for the Festival of the Holidays they were singing Christmas songs, so that's super awesome. And they have the Marachi Cobre, which they had for the Food and Wine and Festival of the Festival of the Holidays as well. And at the World Showplace Events Pavilion, they have The Pianist, which is awesome. They have Visual Arts and Performance, which is visiting visual artists painting colorful Disney characters in a flash. So just, fun entertainment. And then they also have Art Defying Gravity, which was super fun because it was almost like a Cirque du Soleil kind of event that was awesome. And then at the Canadian Mill stage, which I got really excited about because I thought they brought the Canadian band back, but it's just the Jaminators. All right, and now onto the awesome food. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about beforehand is the art booths that they have. What I noticed that in the World Showcase Plaza, so before you actually get into the World Showcase, they didn't seem to be doing such a great job social distancing, and they were a little crowded. But they weren't the ones where any of the artists are. So I don't think they are expecting those ones to be as busy. However, when you're walking through the actual World Showcase, they have please stand here, social distancing lines, as well as several cast members making sure that they are social distancing in order to meet the artists and for those booths, which I appreciate.
Excellent.
And there actually is a lot of art in the World Showcase Pavilion, so not only should you go in there for all the delicious food and entertainment, but they also have the art sections as well for some of the artists. So starting with the Joffrey's Coffee. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you call it Joffrey's Coffee? It's so hard to say. So they have the Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. They have some different beverages throughout the park. So in World Showcase East, they have the Starry Night Latte, which is paint the sky with this espresso beverage with dulce de leche, white chocolate, and dark chocolate sauce topped with Milky Way candy pieces.
I think that's Future World East.
What did I say?
Here. World Showcase East.
Sorry, I definitely meant Future World East. So in Future World East, they have the Starry Night Latte. In Canada, they have the Creative Twist Latte, which says, stretch your imagination with this latte with brown butter toffee syrup and Swiss chocolate syrup topped with the Twix original candy pieces. Not the Twix, just Twix. At the Showcase Plaza, they have the Caramel Canvas Latte, which is an artisan latte with peanut butter syrup, caramel, and dark chocolate sauce topped with Snickers original candy pieces. Can we tell that these are being sponsored by Mars Incorporated? I think so. Next, at the American Adventure is the Color Me Latte, made for a true artiste with espresso, Swiss chocolate syrup, and dark chocolate sauce, sprinkled with M&M's milk chocolate candy.
See, with the name like Color Me Latte, all that I imagine is, I would like one Color Me Latte, and then somebody jumping out with a giant paintbrush covered in latte colored paint and then just coloring you latte colored.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's what came out.
Next, we make our way to the refreshment port, where they have a new lobster poutine. Now, they had an old lobster poutine that was different last year. This one, I would eat. This one sounds way better. So this year, it is lobster, a lobster bisque cheese sauce, pickled jalapenos, and citrus cream.
I really wish it was described as and citrus cream drizzle, because just citrus cream, not looking at a photo of it, it's just I'm like, wait, did they make like another cheese sauce or something? Like another glop of sauce that's just like lemony cream. I don't know.
So basically, if you had the lovely lobster tail from the Citrus Blossom at Food and Wine, this is probably the same cream
that
sauce.
Would
I
make
know
sense.
the
that
one there was
sense.
like a beurre blanc, obviously like a citrus butter sauce, but I can't imagine it's significantly different. But these look amazing and fresh and delicious, and I really want to try lobster bisque cheese sauce.
I really want to try Barrel of Monks Brewing Raspberry Beret, Boca Raton, Florida.
So the Barrel of Monks Brewing Company has a raspberry beret that is new to the refreshment port.
I wonder if they were licensed to use that name.
I bet they don't have a picture of Prince on their can and can get away with it.
I bet they don't. My fiance's former workplace put out a can of beer called Cranberry Beret. It was a cranberry sour, and they put a picture of Prince on the front of it. And they're just like, oh, no, it's not. And it's just like, oh, stop pretending and just stop making the beer.
They also have a wine called from Spotswood, and it is a Sauvignon Blanc, which I feel would pair deliciously with that lobster poutine.
I would agree.
At the Citrus Blossom, and I feel like they just have this at every festival because what else are they going to put in that booth?
Florida.
And they don't want to take it away. But all they have now is the orange cream shake in a souvenir orange bird sipper, the Lost Coast Brewery Tangerine Wheat Ale, and the Florida Orange Grove's Winery Selections.
Like, Florida and citrus go hand in hand. Why wouldn't they have a citrus booth at every single?
Because they used to only have it at Flower and Garden.
I know, but I like citrus.
I get it, but they don't even have any food there. They only had food for Food and Wine. Anyway, next is the deconstructed dish. Now, this is where Hawaii and Melikilikimaka was during the other festivals. They have the deconstructed Reuben, which is a rye popover. So what I like about this is, while it's the same, it's a tiny bit different every year. So it makes me actually want to try this deconstructed Reuben. None of the rest of them, but I know last year the deconstructed Reuben had a sauerkraut, like a fried sauerkraut cheese concoction-y delicious patty that was amazing. And then the year before that, they had a ring of rye bread that everything was kind of served inside of. And then this year, it is a rye popover, corned beef, Gruyere panna cotta. What? Who doesn't want to try Gruyere panna cotta?
Yeah.
And brined Brussels sprouts with broken Thousand Island dressing. The only thing I did not like about it was the Broken Thousand Island dressing last year. It was good, but weird to me.
Yeah.
And I wish there was sauerkraut and not Brussels sprouts. As much as I love Brussels sprouts.
Well, they're brine, so it's
kind of like
it may be Brussels. It may be brined in like a sauerkraut type brine. That's what you put in. That's what you make to make sauerkraut.
Yes. I love that there are still cornichons on the top of it. That's magical. But it doesn't look like the Brussels sprout looks like a Brussels sprout leaf and not like shredded as a sauerkraut would be.
Yeah. They usually improve their deconstructed every year. Like I said, they change it, but it's always like a little bit different. And generally, one year to the next, presentation improves. Is basically what I'm trying to say. There's usually positive presentational changes.
I liked last year's better. Actually, I like the original ones better for this Reuben, but flavor-wise, it's gotten significantly better. Although, I'm very sad about the crisp not coming back this year, because that was my favorite part. Next is the deconstructed BLT, which is crispy pork belly, soft poached egg, brioche, watercress espuma, and tomato jam.
I feel like we had this last year. It's we didn't?
It was similar. It was also pork belly with a soft poached egg.
But it wasn't the BLT, or it was just other.
No, it was the BLT.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
we had
BLT
last
and
year's
the deconstructed strawberry cheesecake as well.
Yeah.
Oh, did we eat it? No.
No. I'm just saying. I was like, I thought we had the BLT last year.
No.
Or no, I'm sorry, the year before last.
Yes, we had both of them the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when I say last year, I mean the last year I was there. Apologize. It's like,
you were here last year.
I wasn't there for that.
2019, you absolutely were.
Well, we're in 2021, so it would have been 2020
but
when
that
I'm
doesn't
referring
count
to.
as last year. That counts as 2 months ago.
Anyways.
Next is the deconstructed strawberry cheese. Oh. Sorry, this is Festival of the Arts. I'm thinking.
I know.
You're right. No,
yeah.
I was here last year.
I was
and
not.
the year before. I think
I was. I wasn't here last year.
3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. We did.
Yeah.
We went together once. Anyway, they've had the same thing. It's done a little different every year. I appreciate it. And then they have the deconstructed strawberry cheesecake, which is whipped New York style cheesecake with fresh Florida strawberries and sugar cookie. And then it also has a really fun piece of sugar, melted sugar, as a pretty display piece on top. For beverages, they have the Rainboba, which they had last year, served in an awesome Figment glass that I own.
Yay!
They have the deconstructed breakfast, which is the Twinings chai tea shake with maple syrup garnished with a waffle crisp and candied bacon, and the deconstructed breakfast that is alcoholic with bourbon. Cream bourbon. Interesting. Next at Decadent Delights, which is the Promenade Refreshments, where the usually like sipping, shimmering sips or whatever it is for food and wine is there. They have a raspberry soft serve ice cream, which is new, a lemon soft serve ice cream, which is new, and I wonder if they're actually ice creams or they're Dole Whips, because they're very different. One is dairy and one is dairy-free.
I'll have to find out.
But they have the North Coast Brewing Company Scrimshaw Pilsner from California, the MIA Beer Company Deco IPA from Doral, Florida, and the Sagatuck Brewing Company Peanut Butter Porter from Douglas, Michigan. Yum. Missouri?
Yum.
Michigan? Missouri? MI?
From Douglas, MI.
They also have a beer flight available. Next is Pop Eats. So last year they had a little plastic can, like the Andy Warhol tomato soup can. This year it is actually, I don't know if it's actually metal, but it appears to be metal versus last year that it was clear. So they have tomato soup with grilled cheese, tomato soup with French onion and bacon grilled cheese, shrimp ceviche with lime and mint foam, an almond frangipane cake layered with raspberry jam and Belgian chocolate, which is the same one that they normally have. It's like the layers of the 3 colors. And
Yeah, they switch up its pattern, but every year, but it's, color blocking.
Yep. And the Popped Art, a modern design sugar cookie with strawberry filling. It's with squiggles on top. This next one, I feel like Disney is reaching a little too far with it, but they have the hashtag Rainbow Sherbet Glitter Dream Ale by Playa Linda Brewing Company in Titusville, Florida, and I wonder if that is actually the name of the ale.
So, as a soon-to-be marrying into the brewing industry, yes, that is what the brewing industry is doing right now. That is what they're doing. They're putting anything and everything into beer, including but not limited to baked goods and breakfast cereals.
Oh no, I'm talking about the hashtag.
Oh yeah, no, they're doing that too. Trust me, that's not Disney, that's them. I would almost point it on it. Like, it could be just the Rainbow Sherbet Dream Ale and they're putting glitter in it, but
nope, that's really what the beer is called.
Thank you, beer industry.
I feel like this is one of those things where, like, if you really have to make your beer a hashtag.
To be perfectly honest, it is entirely on trend with the ridiculous trendiness of the beer industry right now. I'm not saying it's
I
okay,
understand.
I'm just saying
you have
it is
to
entirely
hashtag your own beer because people aren't hashtagging it enough for you.
I would say, based on what the industry's doing, I don't know if it's because they're not hashtagging it enough, but they just wanted to call it a hashtag name.
Next, they have the Popping Bubbles cocktail and a tomato soup can Bloody Mary.
That's a tomato soup can I could get into.
At El Artista Hambriento, which La Artista Hambriento? Anyway, so they have the Chile Relleno, which is a fried poblano pepper filled with flank steak, black beans, and tomatoes drizzled with poblano cream sauce. This was spicier than I anticipated it being. I personally appreciate a chile relleno that is just filled with cheese. It flavorfully was delicious, but not what I was expecting. Next, they have the pork belly pastor, which is pastor marinated pork belly atop of bonita puree with charred pineapple and crispy cilantro. I wanted to try this, but we did not.
Can I just have that in my mouth, like, right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the next item, too. It just sounds fun.
We did get the taco de chocolate, which is a chocolate candy shell filled with Mexican chocolate mousse with a touch of chili topped with tropical fruit. So, this was deconstructed, and we built it ourselves. I'm not sure if normally during the day it is deconstructed and you build it yourself. I certainly had fun with it, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come put together.
Yeah, there's a picture of it and it looks all pretty.
Yeah, but I mean, there was another thing that we had to build too, which was really fun that I don't remember, but once we get to it, I will remember.
Excellent.
But it had, the lettuce was shredded pieces of honeydew melon, and it had pomegranate seeds as the tomatoes, and it had pineapple, which was kind of like the cheese. It was really fun. It was delicious. And we had it as literally the last thing we ate, and I appreciated that there wasn't any cake or anything in it. It was literally just chocolate shell, mousse, fruit. So it was a nice fresh way for us to end a night of eating a lot of food.
Yes, indeed.
They have a Mexican craft beer, which is the Tulum artisanal lager crafted with citrus notes and made with Mexican Caribbean seawater. That's cool. And they have a Diego pomegranate margarita, which is Ojo de Tigre mezcal, pomegranate prickly pear juice, black currant liqueur, and rose petal liqueur with a hibiscus salt rim. Now this last one, sorry?
I was just going to say I would also like that in my mouth, please.
Yes, this last one I'm really excited to try. Also, it's a fun pun. So it is called the Frida Carrot Margarita. It has Casa Noble Blanco tequila, carrot juice, ginger cordial, lime juice, and agave nectar.
I want that too.
Just sounds fun and different and exciting.
Yes.
At the Painted Panda in China, they have the Old Shanghai Shizi tao, which is pork and water chestnut meatball served with taro root. So it is a mashed taro root, a massive meatball, a magical drizzle of sauce, some microgreens on top, and when I say this was big, this was the size of my hand.
Ooh.
Mashed taro root is delicious.
Yum.
And this meatball was so good. So it kind of almost was basically the filling to a pork egg roll, but in a meatball.
That sounds delicious.
It was really delicious. And then they also have the Szechuan red hot mala shrimp. Now this comes served in a martini glass. It's a couple shrimp on some noodles and some veggies. I anticipate it's very spicy. We didn't get a chance to try it. I would love to go back to try it. It looks delightful. For beverages, they have the Panda Bubble Tea, which is a classic milk tea with black and white boba pearls. A Jasmine draft beer. The Fortune Cookie, which is Baijiu spirits, amaretto, and pina colada mix. Did we try this at one point? It sounds familiar. The Kung Fu Punch, which is vodka and triple sec. And the Sea Butterfly, which is butterfly pea flower infused cocktail with lychee syrup, vodka, light rum, and magic boba pearls. I would drink that one.
Mm-hmm. And it's like purple or blue.
Yeah. And at the Refreshment Outpost, which is the one that's in Africa at the outpost before you head over to Morocco. Or Germany, sorry. They have a plant-based bratwurst with spicy turmeric aioli, coffee barbecue jackfruit, and slaw. I
would love that.
Really want to try this, but it was towards the end of our evening, and it looks like a pretty good sized
Yeah, look, in the photo, bratwurst is going to be bigger than a hot dog size.
Exactly, but it's not like a half portion. It's served in a full-size bun.
Yeah.
So I will need to go back and try it again. Oh, shucks. And they have a warm brown sugar stuffed pretzel with banana soft serve ice cream and chocolate sauce. What? Yum. Sounds delicious.
So tasty.
They have the frozen slushy, which they have had at all the other festivals, that you can get with Coca-Cola or Minute Maid lemonade slushy in a souvenir Spike the Bee sipper cup. I have one. It's amazing and adorable. And then they have the Playa Linda Brewing Company Blue Raspberry Blondie. Interesting. Might have to try it. Not sure how I could handle a blue beer. Although, no, ours was purple. It's different. Next, they have Cuisine Classique, which is in Germany. They have a red wine braised beef short rib with parsnip puree, broccolini, baby tomatoes, and aged balsamic. And then they have a couple new items. They have the coq au vin, which is chicken roulade with violet mustard, candied carrots, pancetta crisp, marble potatoes, and beurre rouge sauce. So like a red wine butter sauce.
Yeah, I'm just looking and I want everything at this booth. Like, I don't need the cookie, but, I'll take it if it's a package deal.
Yes, so the coq au vin was delightful. It was so delicious. And then we also got the opera cake, which was almond jacquard, coffee buttercream, and chocolate ganache. Not the best opera cake I've ever had. It was yummy. I gave most of it to Jason. Beautifully presented. I feel like it needed more coffee flavor.
Yeah, if you underdo it on an opera cake is about the layers and about the flavors.
So I feel like
underdo
it was too much jacquard, not enough coffee, and chocolate ganache. It was good. It was just not really a good opera cake. Then they have the Artist Palette Jumbo Chocolate Chip Cookie. Chocolate chip cookie. Blobs of color. So they have the Three Daughters Brewing Rosé Hard Cider, the 81 Bay Brewing Rosé Blonde Ale, a Frozen Rosé, aka a Frosé. They have Campo Viejo Rioja Reserva Art Series, and the Domaine Savary Chablis. One is from Spain, one is from France, and a play on rosé flight is also available.
Badoom check.
I was very excited about this next one until I saw the prices. I'm not really surprised, but I was expecting significantly less. Anyway, so l'arte de mangiare, which is in Italy. For food, they have the arancini, which is sweet sausage fried risotto balls with pomodoro sauce. This was $12. And they were out of it on the day that we went. The one thing that I was extremely excited to try, though, because it was something that I was like, oh, good job, Italy. Something that's not just, your basic run-of-the-mill pasta stuff with cheese. So they have the Largosta, which is lobster ravioli with vanilla saffron cream sauce and shredded chili peppers. Now I understand saffron, lobster, okay. I was expecting to maybe pay like $10 for this because normally their pasta dishes are like $9, $10. This was $15 and you get 2, maybe 3 ravioli. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a lot.
For 2 ravioli.
Yeah.
And then they have the bomboloni, which is a cream-filled Italian donut with raspberry sauce and powdered sugar. Those look pretty good, but I wouldn't pay Italy prices. For beverages, they have a Peroni Pilsner, a Pinot Grigio, a Chianti, a Prosecco, a Rosa Regale, a Moscato, an Italian white sangria with Prosecco, an Italian red sangria with Cabernet Sauvignon, an Italian margarita with tequila and limoncello, an Amaretto Bellini, which is Amaretto white peach puree and Prosecco, and a Bergamotto, which is Italicus Rossolio di Bergamotto, Prosecco, and Cerignola olive. That's a lot of drinks.
That
At
is.
the artist table in the American Adventure, they have beef Wellington. With a mushroom duxelle, prosciutto, and puff pastry with red wine demi-glaze and fennel cream. Last year, this was amazing, but they were done in like individual pockets. This year, it is a slice. But
I appreciate the slice, but...
Yes, but it was super fun in your own little individual one, and I feel like...
Agreed.
It helped to not dry out the meat. They also have a pan-seared scallop with chorizo, roasted red pepper coulis, and Parmesan crisp. This is one single scallop, which is not a bad thing because I'm sure it's delicious, but if you are expecting more than one scallop, don't order it. They also have...
It's one sizable scallop, like
Yes,
it's a
like
scallop, not a
sea
base scallop.
Yes. Yeah, but it's still one scallop.
One, yeah.
And they have the Artist Palette Jumbo Chocolate Chip Cookie. They have a sipping chocolate flight, which is white, milk, and dark chocolate. It is non-alcoholic.
Oh, damn.
They have a Saugatuck Brewing Company Neapolitan Milk Stout. The Lexington Brewing Company Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale. Normally we have the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale that is delicious. We opted to not try this that night. They have a Lindemans Framboise Lambic.
Frambo. Lambic, yep.
Framboise.
It's just lambic.
Lambic?
Framboise, like framboise. Lambic. One's French, the other's German. One word's French.
Goodness, so fun. And then they have a rosé that's from France, and a Writer's Block Pinot Noir, and then Symphony and Chocolate Flights with Mozart cream liqueurs paired with sipping chocolates. So you can get the sipping chocolates with alcohol. There's also a beer flight available. This next one is the funnel cake at the American Adventure. It's called the Red Velvet Funnel Cake, but I feel like it should be called the Unicorn Poop Funnel Cake because it is literally topped with rainbow cream cheese icing. Not really. It's cream cheese icing and then it's pixie dusted, but in the picture it looks like rainbow cream cheese icing.
Yeah. I would agree.
And if anybody has seen a Squatty Potty commercial, you will understand. And if not, Google the Squatty Potty commercial with the unicorn. Goshiki in Japan has the Stone Garden, which is red bean mousse with chocolate rocks and arare rice cracker pebbles. This was super fun because you got to build your own stone garden.
You got to build it yourself? That's excellent.
And the mousse was insane. Oh my god, it was so delicious.
I'm so glad.
So delicious.
That was one I was super excited about.
So delicious. They also have the sushi donut, which is a donut-shaped sushi featuring salmon, tuna, shrimp, cucumber, and sesame seeds over a decorated plate of wasabi aioli, sriracha, and eel sauce. They've had this before. It's amazing. It's super delicious, super creative. I love it. And they have the vegetable gyoza, which is vegetable-filled spinach gyoza, which makes it green, with tofu atop mashed potatoes with a Kamboko fish cake, pepper strings, and tonkatsu teriyaki sauce. Now, I didn't understand last year why it had mashed potatoes. Last year it had a fun mushroom that had a little star cut into the top of it. This year it's got some other options. I'm sure it is just as delicious. Somehow, yeah, see, that picture looks like the picture from last year.
That's definitely a mushroom.
Yep. However, it somehow worked with the mashed potatoes, but I still found it to be weird. For beverages, they have the Haiku Draft Lager, the Masu Sake, and the Pink Snow, which is sake, peach schnapps, cranberry juice, and Calpico dusted with snowflake confetti, and that is also a slushie, and we wanted to get it, but Jason opted out of it, and we just got the garden and the donut.
Mm-hmm.
Next, at the Mosaic Canteen, which is in Morocco, they have the Mediterranean flatbread with za'atar pesto, artichokes, roast peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, and fennel cream. I'm sure it is delightful. But we decided to get the harissa roasted rack of lamb with baba ganoush, picholine with some olives, toy box tomatoes, preserved lemons, and pomegranate. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that looks
amazing.
like something we're not sharing.
Yeah. So the lamb that they tried to do in Australia when they changed the menu, they tried to do it with a pomegranate glaze of some sort, and it missed the mark. This one, with the harissa rub on it and mixed with the baba ganoush and the olives and the tomatoes, it just was incredible, and I had to share it with my husband. So Jason, that's how you know how much I love you. I shared my lamb with you.
That's love.
And then they have the Moscaucho, which was an orange cake with cinnamon orange chocolate mousse. This was quite good. I couldn't really taste the cinnamon. I could taste more of the chocolate and the orange in the mousse, but it was quite yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful presentation, and it does have a piece of candied orange rind on it. Next, they have for beverages, they have the 1906 Reserva Especial Dark Amber Lager, the Maylock. I'm sure it's probably pronounced a lot easier than I just tried to pronounce that. Blackberry Hard Cider, and the Maylock Blackberry Hard Cider. Moving on to Vibrante and Vivido Food Studios between Morocco and France. They have the chilled seafood cocktail with octopus, scallops, shrimp, black garlic aioli, tomato coconut sauce, and serrano lime oil. I did not get this one, but I got the other two items. They also have the blue corn pupusa stuffed with cheese and topped with shredded pork, guajillo and arbol chili sauce, cabbage slaw, and ají amarillo crema. This was really, really good and very, very blue. Which, obviously, because of the blue corn.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it was quite delightful, and I got to share that one with Jason, and he loved it. And then they have the passion fruit mousse with dragon fruit jam. This was probably the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So Disney released an entire full recipe for this item and all the recipes on the Disney Parks blog. I can tell you it won't look like that if you make it, but it's all there and it'll all be delicious.
And then it had a beautiful, what looks like a bird in the picture, but definitely looked like a mask.
Yeah, it's a Mardi Gras type mask.
Is it? Okay.
Definitely.
Because it kind of looks like a bird in that picture, but the one I have legitimately looks like a mask. And next, they have L'Arte de Cuisine François, and this is the one in France.
They also had a bunch of smoothies and daiquiris and coladas.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yep. Coconut and passion fruit smoothie, non-alcoholic, frozen pina colada, and passion fruit daiquiri.
Yes. Sorry. I was just so excited about the dessert. That dessert was amazing. Yep. It was so delicious. Oh my gosh. And beautiful.
I promise if I try to use it, I try to make it, I will use it. I will take pictures, obviously.
And onto France, they have the crème de brie and petit pain, which is warm creamy brie in a house-made bread bowl. The croissant à truffes noir de... Do you pronounce H in French? Hiver?
I'm trying to find it.
Which is the black winter truffle croissant. I tried this. It looks really pretty. I did not taste much truffle.
Croissant à la truffle noir d'hiver. I've even put too much on that.
It was filled with like a truffle bechamel. It wasn't terrible tasting, but it wasn't the best thing I've ever had from France. I would skip it.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the
Moelli.
Framboy, chocolats, Valrhona, whatever, which is molten chocolate and raspberry cake with pure origin Valrhona chocolates. Looks delicious, but it's a molten chocolate cake.
Yes, it is.
And they have a trio de macarons, which is an assortment of 3 house-made macarons in a gift box. They have some wines. They have a martini. They have the frozen French martini, which is Grey Goose, vodka, Chambord liqueur, pineapple, orange, and grape juices with lemon lime foam. That's new. I would try it. I don't know if it's new. But it
new
is
enough.
new in the sense that it's one that I have not tried yet.
Yes.
And then the festival favorites, they have Remy's Ratatouille, and they have had Ratatouille in the past, but they legitimately have Remy's Ratatouille, which I was so excited to finally get to try, and it was amazing. So it has eggplant, zucchini, yellow squash, tomato, and a red pepperade.
Yep.
Next, they have charcuterie with meats and cheeses featuring noosks, applewood smoked beef, the lemon blood orange tart, which was, and if you have watched our story at all, the most well-balanced flavor-wise and texture-wise dessert that I have ever had at Disney. It was amazing. And they also have the Artist Palette Jumbo Chocolate Chip Cookie. They also have a Blue Sky Black Cherry Boba Freeze, 3 Daughters Strawberry Blonde Nitro that was delightful, but smelled a little funky to me. They also have the Breckenridge Nitro Vanilla Porter, which we also had, that was amazing and smooth, and what makes it what the nitro does to it is it just makes it a nice, yummy, smooth finish. And then they also have the MIA Beer Company Milk Stout Nitro, and an old-fashioned coffee cocktail. A Neapolitan beer flight is also available with the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. How fun!
How fun!
And they have the Painter's Palette, which is also at the World Showcase Plaza with the... Sorry, I didn't say that where that last one was, but also where Festival Favorites is in the World Showcase Plaza, they have the Painter's Palette, where they have the prime steak tartare with pickled vegetables, parsley salad, béarnaise anglaise, and sous vide quail egg. This was delightful. I did not appreciate the tartare by itself, but when it was mixed with everything else, it was quite a delightful bite. The sous vide quail egg was sous vide perfectly. Please peel the eggshell off before you eat it. Next, they have the salt roasted beet tartare, not beef tartare, beet tartare, with pickled vegetables, parsley salad, and béarnaise aioli. This was amazing. The second day I got it with Jason, not quite as amazing, but still phenomenal. But the first day I got it, oh my gosh, it was so insanely delicious. They also have the pistachio cake with cherry mousse and morello cherries. This was also phenomenal. So, it's kind of broken down. They're little teeny tiny pistachio cakes that have a little pistachio cream inside. The cherry mousse was phenomenal. It had chocolate casing around it. And the morello cherries were delightful. And then they also had these little chocolate truffles that look like cherries, but they were delicious chocolate truffles.
Yay.
They also have the frozen rusty nail cocktail, a Calimocho red wine cocktail with Pibs Extra. I don't know why. I need to
Pib
try
Extra
it.
is Mr. Pibb.
Yeah. I want to try it, but I don't know why.
Yep.
And then they have Pinard La Dama Reserve Familiar Brut Rosé. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, but that's okay. And then, last but not least, at the Masterpiece Kitchen in Canada, They have the wild mushroom risotto, which is aged Parmesan, truffle shavings, and a Zinfandel reduction. The salmon and cream gâteau, which was really amazing last year, so I hope it's as good this year, with egg yolk cream, paddlefish, caviar, and micro herbs. And the vanilla, rose water, and pistachio panna cotta. They also have some lagers and some wines and a classic sidecar. I just can't pronounce any of those, so I'm going to leave it be. And they have the the Wonderful Walk of Color cuisine, which if you collect all the items, which are the mouscouchou, which is the orange dessert from Morocco, the blue corn pupusa from the Vibrante and Vivito Food Studio, the Remy's Ratatouille, the pistachio cake, and the vanilla rosewater and pistachio panna cotta, you get a complimentary culinary treat, which is an artist palette cookie. And I am one away from actually completing one of those, so I'm very excited because this year there were actually things on it that I wanted to try and eat.
Excellent.
That is Festival of the Arts in a nutshell.
A taste of Festival of the Arts.
A taste. If you would like to be featured on our episode in our fan favorite food section, please send us your favorite Disney food memory from at home or in the parks to onelittlespice@gmail.com or share it to us in a private message on Instagram or Twitter. We are one_little_spice. And then you can also find us on Facebook at, if you search One Little Spice, you can like our page and pin to the top of that. You can share your food memory in that post, or you can join our One Little Spice group, which you should do anyway, and talk about all the delicious food and share all your delicious treats that you have found on your trips as well. We are on TeePublic. So on TeePublic, we have some of our shirts available. So we have our main podcast shirt as well as other variations of it on like mugs and towels, and I don't know if it's towels, but blankets, baby onesies, all sorts of fun stuff. And then on my Etsy, Murph Holzer Design Co., you can actually find our, as well as some other fun designs that I have created, like a cute little Figment yellow-eyed flower and garden t-shirt, and Figment as a spice shaker, which is honestly the most adorable thing I have ever created in my entire life. It's super cute. So you can find those designs on my Etsy shop, as well as some other fun stuff too, including a Mickey wreath, where a Christmas one will be available soon as well. And I also make masks. You can order those through my Etsy site as well. Fully customizable. We are on YouTube as well. So on YouTube, we have the Taste Lab. We will end up with more Taste Lab episodes, but we do have Le Cellier's cheddar cheese soup where you can make that along with us. And we also have the 7 Vegetable Terrine from Akershus, which was to die for and does not exist on the menu anymore. So if you'd like to recreate it or figure out how delicious it was by tasting it for the first time, you can follow along with that as well. We will have more in the future, so make sure you subscribe so that you are updated on all of those. Thank you again so much for listening, and just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice.
It's been a stressful week, so we have 70,000 different items of news for your enjoyment today.
Yup.
A little rapid fire start, little light. Well, all of it's light. It's news about Disney. But starting with, we left the good stuff, or the deep, intense, not so good stuff. Okay, Julie, I just started mumbling. I'm gonna take a sip of this.
Did you say let's
here.
dish yet? I said, did you even say let's dish yet?
I did say let's dish, but I'll say it again, just in case.